Kulapati, Bellangwilla, Vimalratna, Loku Hamdurangen Avasarai, Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Deans of the faculties, members of the University Senate and Council, members of the academic and non-academic staff, ladies, gentlemen, and graduating students. I am honored to be here today to give you the convocation address. And I was told that in the 40-year history of the convocation, that I am the first chief executive from the private sector. So I'm absolutely honored to be here. And the dean told me that I should not be reading my speech, but to give you an inspirational speech, because it's a great day for you all, and especially your parents. Today, I'm sure, is one of your memorable days where you have got the entry ticket to the game. Sometimes graduating does not allow you the privileges or some special tasks which you will need to be in real life. Because today you have got the entry ticket to the game, and tomorrow you start to play the game in the corporate world. And I'm sure when I look at most of the management students, that you may need to acquire some skills and courage to go on this marathon to be successful. So when I look at myself as a young graduate, I can still remember my teachers never thought that I would graduate, not even go to Harvard Business School, become a chief executive. My mother always started by saying that I will not make it because I lost my father when I was 12 years. I was more outside Royal College than inside Royal College because I was running riot. But I realized when I look at myself today being successful corporate chief executive, that I always had something what I called that nothing is impossible. So I want you all to start today thinking that nothing is impossible and that you are going to be successful and that you will make your lecturers here proud, your parents who are seated at the back proud, and to be a proud Sri Lankan. I want to start with a simple story that impossible is nothing and what it takes to become world class. In 1999, I went for the SAF Games along with the chef division, that time a young colonel, Jagat Jayasuriya, today who is the commander of the Sri Lanka Army. We both had boxed for Royal College in the early 70s. And I realized after the conversation with both Jagat and Hemasri Fernando, who were the president of Sri Lanka's National Olympic Committee, when they asked me whether I would be able to take the presidency of Sri Lanka boxing and to take a boxer for the Olympics within 8 years. I'm going to ask you this question today. If you all are told within 8 years that you are going to sit for an exam where the whole world is going to sit for that exam and the best 24 will be selected, what would be your answer? Frankly, when I took on that responsibility, I did not know that only the best 24 in the world will be selected to box at the Olympic Games. And all 200 odd countries will take part to qualify. The last Sri Lankan boxer who went for Olympics was in 1968, nearly 41 years ago, by the name of H.K. Karunaratne. I had not seen even Karunaratne boxing in my young days. I realized that it was a great task, but I took the responsibility. The first thing, like in management, you must have a vision. What is your vision? What is your passion? And what is your commitment? I'm asking you, the young graduates today, whether have you got a vision for yourself? Have you got courage to pursue your vision and your dreams. And then you create a structure. You build competencies. You develop commitment. You develop teamwork. What is taught in the textbook, I had to put into practice from management into a boxing organization which never had a vision or a dream. In the years to come, we fail like in life. I failed more in exams. I failed more in relationships. I failed more in boxing. But one thing kept me going, that never or no was an answer. I always started the day thinking, we Sri Lankans can become world champions. We Sri Lankans can become great managing directors and management gurus. So I'm telling you today, what I set about in year 2000, you need to start today so that you can become world class. One of the main things we all fear is the fear of failure. Fear of failing exams, fear of failing interviews, fear of failing in corporate life, and fear of failing in life. I want you to start today, along with your parents, and one day, for your own children, that you start the day saying Sri Lankans can and nothing is impossible. Years went on. In a period of 8 years, we had more defeats. And 2007, we went on to embark on the journey to get a boy qualified at the World Championships in Chicago. 133 countries took part, 600 boxers, and the first 8 would qualify in the first trial at the World Championships. I was told before we set about that we will not qualify because we had not won a medal at the Asian Games and at the Commonwealth Games. They asked me, what are the chances of a Sri Lankan qualifying when 133 nations are fighting for the first 8 places at the Olympics? Myself, the young colonel who had become a general at that time, vetoed the Sri Lankan Boxing Association with private funding, and 3 boxers took part at the games. Anuruddha Ratnayaka qualified amazingly, becoming number 5 in the world. In the first fight against Australia, he stopped the fight because the referee had to stop the fight because he had a 21-point lead. In the second fight against the North American silver medalist from Ecuador, he beat the boy from Ecuador with a 9-point lead. In the quarterfinals for the fight to qualify, although he lost to the European champion from Italy, who later on went on to win a medal at the Olympic Games, he lost to him by mere 3 points. Ratnayaka qualified. And I can remember Ratnayaka, just before the fight, I was coming back to Colombo because I had to come for the budgets and to do my job as the chief executive. He came running to me because I had already qualified as the chef de mission for the Olympic Games and I was taking the Sri Lankan team to Beijing. He worshipped me and he told me, sir, by the time you come to Colombo, I will be qualified and I will be going as a Sri Lankan member of the boxing team for the Olympics. The amount of courage of this young boy who hails from an underprivileged background from Kandy brought tears into my eyes. By the time I came to Colombo, he had qualified to get for the Olympics. Every day for the last 18 years, 8 years, he had boxed when he was a schoolboy with me at Slimline as a very junior staff member. Every day is to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, run 9 kilometers, do 600 push-ups every day, practice with the Cuban coach at 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 8 o'clock in the night. Every day, day in and day out, he had his dreams and passion to represent Sri Lanka and to bring a gold medal in the history. Can you imagine the courage if I tell you all, every day to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, to do a 9-kilometer jog, do 600 push-ups for a day, and do boxing, and also do work, and pursue a career in work study. Today he has become an executive. What are your challenge and what are your courage? I'm asking you, can you do it? There are plenty of Sri Lankans who can do it, who can graduate from underprivileged backgrounds. They don't need to go to Harvard Business School or to Royal College or to any of the elite schools. I have seen in my own eyes, being the chief executive of Slimline at Pandala, where underprivileged kids walk 4 kilometers, get to school, go for chartered classes and graduate with flying colors. They